notation, and part of that, another part of that means, we know you're not gonna write your answer in standard form, which is just a number, but you're also gonna have to write it in proper scientific notation, okay? What do we do first here? Mason, what do we do first? What's step one? Read it out to us, my friend.
Rewrite the expression, put the numbers with the numbers and the powers with the powers.
Rewrite the expression, guys, and you're going to put the numbers with the numbers, and I know numbers is very vague, and it's, you know, it's not very helpful because technically 10 is a number, 3 is a number. That's not what I'm talking about here. When it says the numbers with the numbers, you're going to put the first two numbers together, all right? And I wouldn't say integers. You wouldn't put the integer because that's not an integer. 2.1 is not an integer, all right? So we're going to just put the numbers next to each other. So the numbers in front, you're going to put them next to each other and put a multiplication symbol in between there. And then the powers you're going to put next to each other. You got 10 to the third times 10 to the sixth. John, you weren't here yesterday. Do you see how we got from here to here? It's very similar to what we've been doing with multiplying powers with the same base. We just rearranged this sentence, my friend. We put the numbers in the front and then the numbers in the back. We're multiplying scientific notation expressions. Were you just not here yesterday, or were you not here the day before? Also? Just yesterday. All right, cool. So you know about scientific notation, you just don't know how to multiply. Cool. Now, second step.
Oh wait. Oh.
Go ahead, Neil.
Do you do like 2.1 times 4? You just go like
Multiply. Step 2, multiply. Now, look up here. Alma. No la la land today. Guys, when you're multiplying a decimal, let's take a trip back to the 5th grade.
Yeah.
When you are multiplying decimals, you do not have to line up the decimals. In fact, don't line up the decimals. That's for adding and subtracting. When you're multiplying decimals, you just line the numbers up with each other. Just like that. Now, when you're also multiplying decimals, kids sometimes put the decimal in the, they don't put a decimal in their answer, or they put it in the wrong spot. Guys, 2.1 is close to 2. Essentially, we're multiplying 2 times 4. Our answer is going to be close to 8, not 80, not 0.8. So think about, like, estimate what your answer would be, and then make sure you put your decimal in the proper place. Kids are like, oh, you moved the decimal over once, so you're going to move it over here. Like, I'm like, look, just estimate the numbers and then figure out where to put the decimal. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Where would I put the decimal?
In the middle.
Yeah, because that would give you a number close to 8, 8.4. You know, you wouldn't put it here, that'd be 84. That's not even close. You gotta ask yourself, does this make sense? You know what I mean? 8.4 times 10. Now, if the base is the same, we're multiplying when we do the exponent. Yeah, you get 10 to the 9th. Now, yesterday, I showed you, you know, step 3, write in scientific notation, we move the decimal over and then we add in an exponent. Why would we not do that here? Go ahead, Colin.
Because the 8.4 is already between 1 and 9.9.
What I showed you yesterday, thank you, Colin, you're exactly right. What I showed you yesterday, when you move the decimal over and then you add an exponent, that's for if your number is not in scientific notation. If it's in scientific notation, you're done, my friends. That is it. That's your answer. You know, you wouldn't move the decimal over. That'd give you 0.84. That's a number less than 1. It's got to be between 1 and 9.999. And 8.4 falls in that range. Does everybody see how we got that?
Yeah.
John, you good?
Yeah.
You see how we got that? Cool, let's do number 2. The only thing that's different about number 2 is, you know, we've got some bigger numbers in the front, and we've got some decimals that we're going to have to multiply. But we get 7.2 times 10 to the second. And what are we multiplying that by? Someone read it out to me.
3.5.
3.5 times 10 to the what?
11.
10 to the 11th. Okay, cool. We're going to rewrite this sentence. Guys, we're going to do 7.2 times 3.5, bless you, times 10 to the second, times 10 to the 11th. Could you answer this question without doing that step? Sure. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm telling you, write this step down. Y'all going to have this on your quiz tomorrow. I want y'all to right now multiply 7.2 times 3.5. And don't use a calculator. You're not going to have a calculator on the quiz. You're not going to have a calculator on the test. You're not going to have a calculator in the milestone. Well, you will on the milestone, but not for questions like this. There will be a section in which you can use a calculator, a section in which you can't. This is definitely a section in which you can't. All right? Go ahead and multiply 7.2 times 3.5. When you get an answer, just put your hand down. I'll call on you in a second.
Down.
Colin, did you get an answer? Good deal. Guys, 7.2 is close to 7. 3.5 is close to 3 or 4, you know, either one. 7 times 4 is 28. You're going to get a number close to 28. If you get an answer that's 280, that's wrong. Not even close. Make sure you put your decimal in the right spot. It's out.